Day, everyone. So let's take a look at this trade idea on EUR card. As you can see, I have run my analysis day before yesterday. There was a liquidity zone. Now the liquidity, like coming back to 1 hour, you can see the liquidity zone here. It was taken out and got our original zone. Now it has liquidated the original zone itself. Now let's come back to 15 minutes to understand the structure better. So on the 15-minute time frame, you can see it's more refined and more clearer. Like now you can see around here, there's a breaking structure to the upside. You understand? Now it took out the buy side liquidity over here, which was taken out. But for that was for today. That's the first liquidation we had for the day. And then that is not enough liquidation for me to work with in a single day. Another liquidation I'm waiting for is that we have a shift around here under the 3 minutes time frame. We come to 3 minutes. We have a liquidation, a change of character around here, a market shifts around here. And if you know me very well, I always look for market shifts. Now, I have this belief that a lot of smart money traders will come here because since we have our first liquidation, like CTR traders does, they come around here, put in their entry, and then they're like, okay, we've taken out the high. Now we can move lower. But we have smart money zone around here, which a lot of smart money traders are going to be like, they are putting in their entries around here at this point. But as for me, Asia is not liquidated, London is not liquidated. There's no major section liquidation for the day, and there's no major smart money zone taken out. We've only take out a particular buy side liquidity first. So for me, we still have two more liquidation to happen. And then this is around 10:29. So I'll be waiting for 2:30 or what is going to happen before 2:30 before I can decide an action I'm going to take on this trade. And what my outlook on this market is this. The first thing is I'm waiting for a smart money trap to be taken out, and one of the sections, either Asia or London, one or the two itself is liquidated. Then I wait for a change in character. Like this is what I actually mean. Like I'm looking forward to something like this. That will always be a first reaction. Then taking them out, then something like this, and then we have a change, and then we're able to enter our entry, have an entry, and then trade downward. That is the kind of move I'm looking forward to. And then we still have enough time between 10:30 to 2:30. That's still a very long time to wait for. So let's see how markets will play and react with these prices. This is my own outlook, but the market can choose a different way. But this is what I'm looking forward to decide my own entry. You understand? So I will do the following day, the next video of the days. All right. So let's come back to where we stopped yesterday. So you can see here our liquidity. The market give us a surprise. We were expecting the market to come up, but it was coming up and then had an exhaustion and then continued downward. You can see here the New York session was not, it doesn't have much liquidity to work with. The New York launch had a little bit of liquidity. The New York PM had a little bit, but one thing is I don't work with liquidity that has nothing to do with sections. When the sections for the day are over, I don't trade because I like to work with sectional liquidities. So, but what happened is that the day was over here and you could see what was happening. The all liquidity were taken. Three major liquidity were taken out. Trainer liquidity taken out. Smart money liquidity taken out, and then the previous day high liquidity got taken out. Three major liquidation happened here. So now, after confirming three major liquidation, what I look for is what is the next move of the market. I don't work with Asia section, but I use Asia section as a determinant for my market decision. When the Asia section is over, that is what I use as a determinant for my own entry. So now, there are two things I could have expected from Asia section. You can see I marked up two positions here. Do you understand? Now, I give out a rule. If you watch one of my videos, where I say there is what we call the two-leg confirmation that confirms a two-leg confirmation confirms an exhaustion of a market because which means a low can no longer go up to create a new high again. So it's tired, and then price had to go and break further downward. You can see there's a break here, and there's another confirmation of a break here as well. So which means that communicates exhaustion in the market. So which means all we are trading right now is not market liquidity, but we're trading retracement. So now, where does the market retrace to? The two-leg confirmation is what I say. The market can't come to this point because there's exhaustion, except you want to liquidate Asia high. And one thing is, we've already done three major liquidation for the day. You understand? So now, even if you are going to take out these points, market has to go to a particular region whereby it can take enough liquidity to go up. It could be this zone, it could be this zone. Like what I mean is something like this. Like market has to go because there's an exhaustion for liquidity, and there are others settling here, there are others settling here, there are others settling here. So which means market has to come to like this point. If there's a confirmed good number of liquidity, market can just create a reaction, take out this point, and then maybe continue downward. You understand? But there is exhaustion in the markets right now. So the market has to trade to a point whereby it could find liquidity enough to take out a particular section around here, a particular section around Asia high, London high or Asia high to move us downward. but that liquidity is not available at the moment. So me knowing that exhaustion is in the market until market get to a zone where it can find enough liquidity to push it more above this point. So before we get to that zone, we don't know the zone yet, but I know the market is trading down. I come in on the second leg and I put in my interest rate forward, and then I have my 5 to risk to the reward ratio, like I always have it. 1 to 5 risk to the reward ratio is all I always target, and then I have it so clean. Three major liquidation. We understood structure. We find out the major liquidation that has to happen. We recognize the market exhaustion, and then we do trade downward. Very simple. So, all right. Thank you very much for watching this video. Yeah. All right. I thought this was going to be the final part of this video, but the market choose because I've not uploaded the video on my YouTube. So market got to this point of interest here. Like I mentioned earlier, the market got to this point of interest and then showed me a more reason to have an entry. And let's take a look at the analysis. I'm on 1 minute right now. Let's take a look at the analysis properly. Now, for example, when market got to this point, I know the reason market got here because it cleared the liquidity around this point. Market cleared the liquidity around this point, and then you can see let's a break of structure, another break of structure around here, and then now a new break of structure as well. You understand? Now, this break of structures, there was liquidity build up here, trend line liquidity. Now, this give me a confirmation that this market is coming to clear this trend line liquidity, but there's one more confirmation I need that this market, after the clearance of this liquidity, to continue going up. That is because there is a region here that will lead to a market structure shift, and then we are very close to New York window opening. So I know this market is selling New York upward because why? We are clearing a liquidity before the entry, and if this liquidity gets cleared, the liquidity here, the trend line liquidity get cleared, clearance of that liquidity or stop losses here will lead to a break of structure, thereby changing the direction of the market, and then everybody starts coming in, and then what? Trade upward. And that was exactly what happened. I will show you the before of this video. Now this is the before of the video. You can see the before of the video that this thing was a pure clean analysis I did before I entered this trade. Now after I entered the trade here, the market started moving upward. Now we have the first shift and then the second break of structure, which gave me a peace of mind that this market is trading up for this section. So now what happened next? Market get to this resistance point. We have the first resistance, second resistance. Now we have our third resistance in our own move, and then the fourth resistance as well. So four resistance on the zone, which means that zone is a very strong point that needs to be breaking out. Now, after the fifth attempt, the market broke that resistance. We got our TP, my 5R, like I always say, my 5RR TP. And then this market is going to continue, but I think there's another the New York session is over. You can see I got my 5RR in my New York session, and then as you can see, the New York section is over, and now we are preparing for like the cause and effect of every move in the market. What is the cause of this move? What is even when you go at loss, you know the reason why you lose. You understand? It's not about like, okay, you just learn a structure or a strategy and then you just feel like you know Forex. Knowing Forex go deeper than that. Understanding every move in the market is what makes you a Forex trader. Not even just a Forex trader, a Forex business person. You understand? So as you can see, this move was a very clean trade for the day. We had the clean trade of for the first day, the first clean trade of the day, and then the second clean trade of the day, giving us what? A 10 RR on just a single pair. So thank you very much for watching my channel, and then please share this video, like, comment, and then engage properly. Ask me any question in the comment. I'll be glad to answer you. Thank you.